reSITE 2016, Cities in Migration, June 16th and 17th, Forum Karlín, Prague.
But I'm here specifically to talk about the work that I've been doing with Renew Newcastle and Renew Australia back home on the other side of the world. So it's kind of interesting to meet a group of like-minded people, some of whom have very similar challenges and projects, and be part of it. It's been going for about 8 years. We set up a not-for-profit in a city with a smallish city in Australia of a few 100,000 people. And at the time when we started it, there was 150 empty buildings in the two main streets. So we basically set up a company to work with the private owners of those buildings to borrow them and lend them to creative and community projects. And over the last 8 years, we have started, I think, 220 projects and reopened 80 buildings in that city. I mean, migration is a very complicated issue in Australia. I mean, most Australians, apart from Indigenous Australians, are migrants or descended from migrants. We have, great history as a country that's welcomed many layers of migrants from around the world, and yet recently we've become a country that's been very hostile, particularly to people arriving by boat. So I'm embarrassed to say Australia, has locked up thousands of people in offshore detention camps. For nothing else other than seeking asylum in Australia, and I think that's really tragic. But we're a country of migrants. I mean, half the population, has at least one parent that was born overseas. It's, we've been built on a very successful many different cultures. I guess Newcastle is an interesting city in the sense that it's one that the last couple of waves of migration have largely passed by because it's been in decline for so long. I think migrants tend to have moved more to the bigger, more successful cities and passed the smaller, failing ones by. And so, I actually think it's kind of interesting to talk about the problems that migrants generate in communities, but actually the fact that communities are attractive to migrant communities is a sign that they're successful places. I think my favourite thing has just been the chance to meet so many people with, similar minds, similar challenges, similar projects. Sometimes people that have, answered questions I haven't figured out the answer to, and maybe hopefully be able to provide a bit of the same in return to them.